Okay. Everybody, this is James with Monotalk. Welcome to Talking with Power. That's what it means. It is June 22nd, 2025. And I'm hearing all kinds of stuff now. What I think's interesting, and I just got to say, it's kind of interesting that Trump says 2 weeks, not just fuck. Let's take 2 weeks, get this situated. A few days later, boom, 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 3 huge nuclear bases taken out. Retaliation? I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I don't think that's a really wise idea unless China gets involved, unless Russia gets involved, unless some of NATO and unless some of the UN start to turn, which could be the case, especially because it's Trump. Remember, I said that. I mean, are we Israel? I mean, we just fuck. I don't know how many people died. I know that it was bad. These are bunkers. These bunker busters go down 200 feet under the ground. And they're saying all you got was our garages and our back door. That's what they said. All you got was passageways. Okay. Now, keep in mind the U.S. intelligence is pretty badass. I don't care what you think. But we're talking some serious, I mean, let me just kind of run this by you. I'll just play this while we're talking. It's just music. Shows the Iran, their forces and tanks. And then it shows ours here. I like the music. Pretty cool. I'll leave this playing. It sounds kind of cool. Right? Not a huge difference. No. Let me speed that up a little bit so I can go through the whole thing. Come on. Alright, let's go. These are ICBMs. USA's got a shit ton of them. 694. Iran has surface-to-air missiles. 775. Not too shabby. More than we do. I'm sure they don't now. This is 2024. 1026. These are frag guns. They shoot up in the air, and these mortars explode in case there's planes flying through the air. It's just frag stuff. Plus, that's all they're for. Towed artillery, in a sense. And then Iran has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, we have 12. We have 12 aircraft carriers. And we have lots of fucking submarines. Lots of submarines. Oh, Iran has a lot of submarines. 19 submarines. That's pretty good. We have 64, and they have 19 submarines. So they don't really have any aircraft carriers. They don't have any aircraft carriers, which is huge. Aircraft carriers are a big. If you want to go That's a lot of 101 frigates or battleships in a sense. And I don't think they have that many now. I mean, there's a lot of this stuff's gone. We have how many battleships? They have 101. We have 472. Wow. I think the point that I'm really trying to make here is stop. Just fucking stop. For God's sakes. You know, this pissing contest, this dick measuring contest, this fucking how far can you fucking throw a rock into the pond contest. It's just, you know, who can do the most, you know, and then we also have, I think Netanyahu, the guy needs to go. I mean, he's such a fucking pain in the ass. Look, for decades, right? Iran has been a pain in the ass. Excuse me, Israel. Let me show you a map. This will kind of make you understand. And people said it was strategic. I'm going to show you the map. Is this the map? The map. It's the map. It's the map. Alright. So let me jump over here so you can see what I'm seeing. There's the Gaza. There's Israel. West Bank, Jerusalem, all that stuff. But let's pan out. Okay? Because I'm going to tell you. It's just, if you want to stick a thorn in somebody's foot, Israel would be the thorn. And it almost seems like it was intentional. And many have said that whole thing was intentional, just to disrupt Islam from the Jewish, from Judaism, right? Let's go back to here. I was going to tell you. So look, everything surrounding Israel. We're talking Syria. We're talking Iraq. We're talking Jordan. We're talking Lebanon. We're talking Turkey. We're talking Izmir, Bursa. I mean, we're talking Egypt. We're talking Kuwait. You know, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Saudi fucking Arabia. Excuse me. Pardon me. Oh, it feels good to sneeze like that. Libya. Everything around this little piece of shit fucking country is all Islamic. What the fuck? What I don't get is, and I don't want to try to start anything because nobody's really listening too much anyway. I mean, not a lot of people. I mean, I got my channel back, but I lost like 300 fucking subscribers. It was at like 600, close to 6, maybe 700 subscribers. I get my channel back. There's like 340, 350, whatever. I get it. But with what little people I still have, and maybe somebody's watching, I mean, all these Islamic countries could just easily annihilate this fucking little pain in the ass country. You know, I mean, they could easily just band together and say, look, if Israel doesn't stop fucking with Gaza or the Palestinians and the genocide that's obviously been happening there for a long time, then we're going to fucking turn it to ashes. It's just amazing to me. Now, see, the most powerful country here, that's near Saudi Arabia. They're fucking beefed, guaranteed. Egypt is beefed, I guarantee you. Libya is kind of beefed, right? But there's other Islamic Sudan, definitely, right? United Arab Emirates, Dubai is like right around the corner. I'm sure they're fucking heavily beefed with weapons of mass destruction. It just fucking doesn't make any sense. None of this fucking makes any sense. You're like, what the fuck, right? It's just this little fucking piece of shit country in the middle of just all Islamic everything. And it's just weird. It just makes no sense to me. It's almost like they're there just to keep poking the bear. Whatever the bear is, whether it's us or somebody else. And they just keep doing it. And then we keep feeding them all of our arms, all of our weapons, all of our fucking, money. I mean, Israel has received more in the past few decades. They've received more foreign aid and military aid than any other country. And that is the money laundering scam. Ta-da! That's what AIPAC is about. And I like AIPAC people, and I like the way they think. But you have to know that. You have to know that a lot of these people that are in AIPAC, let's just be clear. I mean, I'm not gonna shy away from this, because I'm just gonna tell you, I don't want to fucking see any more killing. I'm done. And I've probably said this once every 2 or 3 years because of fucking Israel and Iran, because of Gaza, because of Israel, because of fucking whatever that era, that fucking whole shit. It's been that way for a long time, and I've said this a lot. A lot. And I'm just, it's exhausting. Because, see, here's the thing. If you're young, you don't know about it. All you know right now is that Iran is evil and nasty, but you gotta look what they used to be. We did the regime change there. We created the extremist Muslim situation there. They used to be so progressive and so liberal in a sense, or more conservative in many ways. They had their freedoms. They were wearing blue jeans. Nobody was wearing a fucking burqa or whatever the hell these things are called. Right? Everybody was, they weren't stoning women in the streets. I mean, just go look at it. I'm not going to show it to you. Go fucking look for yourself. Type in Iran in the 70s. That's it. Bell bottoms, tube tops. Everybody they had like muscle cars. In the 80s and 90s and then the 2000s is when the globalists got a grasp of how easily they could start fucking chipping away at everyone and controlling everything, and then getting rid of as many people as possible. This is it. I mean, I don't think Trump understands the end game, and I'm really concerned about that. And I know he gets that the globalists are crazy, they're narcissistic, they're sociopathic, they're fucking a bunch of crazy ass pedophiles that are organizing child and fucking human trafficking all over the goddamn world. That's what those fuckers are doing. And we're starting to see it everywhere. And the proof is coming out. Every month, 2 or 3 times a month, you're hearing more fucking traffic, and it's all linked to all these people, these NGOs. Yeah, they're linking, trust me, it's linking to, remember I said this, it's going to start linking to the NGOs. We're talking the Obama Foundation, the Clinton Foundation, the this foundation, that foundation, the Bill Gates Foundation. Right? They're going to see it all linked to a lot of these NGOs and these terrorist globalist entities like the World Economic Forum, Chatham House, I'm not sure Bilderberg, but it's more like a meeting. G7 more like a meeting. There's a lot of shit going on. People just can't fathom what's happening. And I'm going to tell you, we just don't need the wars. This is my take on what recently happened. I'm going to tell you right now. Here it is. Ready? Somebody told Trump, hey, there's some nuclear warheads down underneath these certain bunkers. And we have intel. He's going off the trust basis. Not sure if somebody showed him actual documentation or videotape or cameras or photos, which can easily be created in AI, for fuck's sakes. But he has people that he trusts in his circle of trusted people. And that's all you need to do is tell this guy the wrong thing and you've destroyed the fucking planet. This is the problem with this is the threat of the deep state. They're like Hydra. Right? You ever watch Marvel? That whole atmosphere that the Marvel universe created of Hydra is fucking real. Where do you think they got that from? Out of their butts? No. Part of it, right? Because it's pretty stupid and woke sometimes. But Hydra is the fucking deep state. And they're still in play. And look, you've seen already that they're still firing, relieving, sending away to this day, and we're already like 150 days in plus, right? Over 150 days of the Trump administration, and they're still getting rid of people because these people are still doing fucking woke, crazy, just lunatic shit. And they're out there. They're part of this fucking sickness. Hey Jordan, how are you, buddy? Thanks for seeing me. Thanks for being on. Yeah, it's just very obvious that Trump look, I know somebody that's close to these B-2s, the bombers. And I have a pretty good idea just by the conversations that I've had, can tell you that me mentioning the fact that, yes, they did confirm that there are some warheads on some long-range missiles. I'm just guessing. And once they knew that that was the case, they said, well, we have an idea of where they could be and how we can stop this shit from happening. Whether they completely disabled the system at all or somewhat, but I'm sure they've deterred it to a certain extent. And if that information comes back, and if it's positive and it's real, then, and here, before I even say, well, why shouldn't everybody have a fucking nuclear bomb? Because we've made so many fucking friends that are just extremely, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying we're not super overly religious, but what I'm saying here, people, is there are some countries out here that, God said I need to destroy the planet, so I'm going to destroy the planet. And there's people out there just doing it right now anyway. But there was some information that came through and that gave him the for sure that they're doing that, even though they told him that they're not. Now, the one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to lie to Donald Trump. I'm telling you, talk to his kids. Just ask their kids, hey, was it a good idea to ever lie to your dad? Fuck no. He took a fucking golf club to me, man. Whatever. It's not a good idea. That's one thing. My dad, fuck. That's the one thing I would never. I think I tried it twice. Once because I didn't think he was going to do something, and twice because I didn't think he'd do the fucking same thing again, and it was a mistake. A big fucking mistake. Yeah, honesty. Honesty is such a lonely word. and mostly what I need from you. Honesty is hardly ever heard. I can do better than that, but I don't want to get crazy. I don't want to wake up the neighbors. Well, let's hope for the person that was giving him the information was honest, reliable. Hey, bro, I got pictures right here. I got them right here. Bunch of fucking pictures of got a whole fucking book of it. I'm like, all right, what's the plan? All right, Pete. So what do we get? What do you think the course of action is here? Because I believe we just need to get rid of these things as soon as possible. Do you have intel? Because what happened is you're gathering time. They probably confirmed it a month or so ago. Let's just say, and then they're doing some distracting bombing, letting Israel kind of go at it. And they say, give us 2 weeks, but the plan's already in motion. They already know what they're going to do. And this is the way I would do it. All right. Give us 2 weeks. Not boom, boom, boom. And they took out the facilities. 200 meters under the ground. Maybe less, maybe more. But no matter what. Now, here's the thing. The retaliation, like I'm showing you right here, not a good idea. You know, we have 472 destroyers. I'm sure they maybe have 70 left after what we've been doing to them lately. If the only thing I'm concerned about is if China gets involved, if Russia gets involved, then this just turns into fucking Ukraine again. And that's the bottom line. Because it's the same thing. It's just reversed now. Russia or China will supply the bombs and the money, right? The military force, in a sense, but they're not going to send people out there. And it's going to help beef up Iran's 101 or 70 to 101 destroyers to 200 destroyers. You know, and they'll start building and building. It's like, fuck. And we start wasting. You know, this is a point I made a while back, and somebody repeated it about what war or soldiers were actually for. Why they created soldiers. First, they were protectors of the family. Like your dad, your brothers, maybe your mom picked up a pick or a hoe or a fucking shovel every once in a while and beat off some bears or some bad neighbors or whatever the case may be. And they started villages, and then there were other villages that went into a village because they liked what was in those villages. Maybe it was their furs or their food or whatever the case may be, and that there was pillaging and pillaging and pillaging and raping and pillaging and all that shit, right? Killing, raping, pillaging, killing, raping, pillaging. So they decide to make soldiers. So the soldiers would stand guard and protect. This is it. It's very simple. Very fucking simple. Now let me play this while this is happening. I'm gonna take the music down. And while all this is happening, the militaries are getting bigger. The security is getting bigger. They're needing more powerful stones to throw at each other, and axes and spears and then arrows. And then it starts to turn into kind of a business, because let's all give them the same color uniform with buttons and shields, and somebody's making money. And then somebody's going, you know what? War is kind of profitable because the king is paying me like tons of gold to make all these spears, to make all these swords. And then that's just been going on for a long time. But then when we're also finding out, and here's the craziest part. Send us your sons and daughters to go into war. Right? And usually it's the strongest of your lineage. And pray that the strongest of your lineage comes home. Now, out of my family, my sisters and brothers, I was the only one that went into the military. I got out kind of quick, but I mean, I did it. I was in that position. I was out in the ocean. I was a part of Desert Storm, the 90-day fucking war. At any time, they could have grabbed me out of that ship and deployed me. There were people in my barracks, or my berthing, they call it, of 90 plus people in this one berthing where all these guys are sleeping. It was fucking stinking shit. And a few of them were sent on deployment. So it's just when your number's up, your number's up. But the strongest people are usually sent into the military. In the past 3.5, 4 years, when Biden administration was in, you could get in just being a human, just being whatever. The tests went lower, the physical tests went lower. They didn't care who you were. They didn't care if you call yourself the he, she pronoun, all this other shit. They just didn't care. They just took anybody in. It was really kind of a degrading time for our military. Because honestly, you do want the strongest. You want all these guys. You want all these troops here. You want all these troops. Right? Let's just wait until this pans out. Right? Let's just let it. Right? You want all these troops right here. There's more than this. 790 in it. There's the reserve forces. I think we have like 4 to 5 million personnel in the military. It's not easy to get in. I had to take a hearing test 3 times to get it. I had to take my ASVAB, the math and science, English and all that test 3 times. Because the first time I passed it, but then on the day that I passed it, they changed it to a higher. You had to get a better score. And I didn't even study, hardly studied. I just took the test, passed it, and then on that same fucking day they said, "Hey, by the way, we just changed it, so you got to take it again." I go, "Why didn't you fucking tell me? I would have just not took it the second time and studied." So I took it the second time. I studied, and I got over 20% higher in my score, which probably anybody could have. But then because of that, they thought I cheated, and that's like automatic, so that you have to take it again. So I took the fucking ASVAB test for the military, passed it literally 3 times. And then my hearing test I had to take 3 times, because the first time it was low, so they were worried, and then it was low again, so they were even more worried. And then the third time when I took it, I put cotton in my ears and slept for a day or 2 with cotton in my ears. Just couldn't hear shit. But when I took the test, I was super sensitive. Try that sometime. You just put cotton in your ears for fucking 3 or 4 hours, take them out. Man, you can hear your heart beating. You can fucking hear, fucking ant walking. It's crazy. It's almost like you have like Labrador animal hearing. Anyway, and then when I went in, I took the hearing test and I had to take it again just to pass it. And I did the same thing with the cotton in my ears. I'm not a proponent of war. No, I don't think anybody that says, "Oh, you should be ready for war. You should always be ready for the unexpected." There's no doubt. I'm fucking prepared. I'm always prepared. what I'm saying is, I would like to look. We're not ever going to get rid of the military. I'm telling you now. When you have situations like this that happen with Iran, you have Yemen, you have all these others, Libya. I mean, go back in time. We fucking nuked Japan. It was an atomic bomb, by the way, not a nuclear bomb. And Nagasaki, Hiroshima. I mean, we're the only people that have dropped an atomic bomb on a country. Fuck. I mean, somebody's gonna... With the record we have, and I've got to tell you this, I don't want... Look, I love my country, I fight for my country, but somebody out there is gonna say, enough's enough. Somebody's gonna say, enough's enough. So if Trump isn't going to start turning more towards negotiating in peace, especially after this, then we're just going to make more and more and more and more fucking friends, right? Friends across the world. That's why we have 800 fucking military outposts across the world. What, does China have 8? Russia has like 3? What does that say? Come on. We've fucked over so many fucking people forever that we have to do that now. That's exactly what it's for. That's exactly why we have to have the biggest military. That's exactly why we have to have the strongest people in the military. That's exactly why we have to have the quickest, the fattest, the fastest, the strongest. Not the sissiest, not the fattest. Not the wokest, not the fucking lunaticishness. We have to have people standing on that wall. I'm sounding like fucking Jack Nicklaus. You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall. No, we do. I get that. Because we've made so many friends over forever. We've killed over 200 and... almost over 20 million people, domestically and foreignly, and internationally, since we've been a country. And it's just fuck, It's not something you want to brag about. And I think if I'm an alien race from another galaxy or planet or solar system, and I'm universe, whatever. And I drop in and I just check the quick. Let me look up the quick history of the world. What country has killed the most people? Oh, look at that. Germany. Yeah, you get that. Stalin. Okay. The States. Wow. Pretty crazy. You know what? These guys are going to do themselves in. Let's just get the fuck out of here. I mean, is that it? I've said we're not going to evolve until we are upfront. We are transparent. I mean, we just found out JFK, 2 bullets, 1,000, different fucking people shooting at the guy. I mean, come on. We all know about the Gulf of Tonkin. We all know about Pearl Harbor, financed by the same fucking banks on both sides. Right? Same banks financing the one on both sides, made a lot of fucking money. This happens that's kind of commonplace nowadays. We found out about NK Ultra, Tequila Mockingbird. I mean, there's just so many fucking things. 9/11, Building 7. More recently, Russia was all bullshit. Everybody thought that fucking Hunter Biden didn't have a laptop. And nope, it's confirmed he's got a laptop. Right? And there's a lot of fucking nutty ass shit in there. And then Epstein Island, which for some reason... It's just, Nothing's happening with the Johns, with all the high level CEOs and fucking governmental elite that were definitely doing all the sick, disgusting shit in the fucking islands. It wasn't an island too. It was all over the place. Everybody thinks it was just on this fucking. It was everywhere. The problem is that we gotta stop. And I mean, I've been saying this ever since I've had this channel. There are films that I want everybody to go watch. I'm not going to play it now. But you can actually see, like, down the street, a shopping mall getting annihilated by a bomb of ours or one of our allies or somebody. And you're sitting there hearing these people scream. I mean, that has not happened, I don't think, ever since the Spanish-American War, or not even close, right? The Civil War. I mean, we're talking like a little bomb here, a little bomb there. These little firecrackers we used to have back in the day, but the shit that we're dropping and that we're assisting other countries in dropping in these mostly Middle Eastern countries, there's so much artistry and so many beautiful buildings and architecture destroyed. God, that's the worst part. Just history being disseminated. It's just so fucking. That's the thing. You know, I hate to be a Debbie Downer here, but I'm just trying to tell you what the fuck's going on. That's what's going on. We've got to stop. I'm telling people that it's time. We will not evolve. We won't even get close to Star Wars or fucking Star Trek or fucking Deep Space Nine or fucking the Oracle, which is, you know, the fucking stupid ass joke from that idiot. We're not going to get there. We can't get there like this. If you think we're going to get there like this, we're not going to get there like this. We will not be accepted. We will not be accepted because the actual sophisticated, intelligent life beings out there are way past this. Their goal and their function is to voyage, is to find better and higher ways of living, not smoking pot or taking fentanyl or doing crack, right? I'm talking about just reaching those ethereal type, in a sense, godlike positions of life that maybe a monk could only find down here on Earth, which I've heard they've done. You know, we're missing a lot of our history. We know for a fact that we know now that the pyramids are a hell of a lot older than 3,000 or even 6,000 years old. That's fucking been proven over and over again. It's possibly hundreds of thousands of years old. Mark my words, I'm just telling you, I can send you all the videos if you need to know. There's so much of our history that has been hidden from us. So much of our history from the human history that has been derailed, deranged, deformed, redirected, changed, altered, reorchestrated, just to keep you stupid, to keep you from knowing just how sophisticated our species has been in the past, and maybe other similars to ours. And you start thinking about the Anunnaki and all this other stuff, whatever. All I'm saying is, at this rate, if we keep using weapons of mass destruction, which that happened recently from the United States to Iran, we're not going to make it. And I fucking love Star Trek, man. I do love Star Trek. And I'm okay with the misogyny of Captain Kirk. That's all I'm saying. My dad used to watch that all the time when we were kids. Yeah, get him, James, get him. Right? I think that's why he no, that was after me. But I think all that we need to know now is, I mean, are they really going to stop? Are things going to stop? I think so. Um, if a ground war happens in Iran, then I think we're done. I think this whole Trump is not going to get his name. And mark my words, if a ground war starts in the East, in the Middle East, in Iran, Trump will not be seen on Mount Rushmore. It won't happen. It won't happen because it's not going to end. It's not going to end well. It's going to be worse than Vietnam. And Vietnam was a fucking joke. All right. I think that's all I have to say. Was there anything else I wanted to bring up? Yeah, and fucking Yahoo started all this shit in the first place. Yeah, I know boots on the retaliation. Hopefully not. I mean, it's just nuts. It's just fucking nuts, man. Just fucking nuts. Oh, this was. I gotta show this, and I'm gonna go. I gotta show this. This is fucking hilarious. All right, let's just read this one. I'm like, is this a fucking joke? And then so everybody say it's not a joke. The fucking here. Let's just. I gotta look at the picture. Hang on. This is a real picture. This is the. Let me show you the entire picture. There it is. Can you guys see it? Let me see. There we go. It's just like, are you fucking kidding me? So the LA County Sheriff put out a tweet. Our hearts go out to the victims and families impacted by the recent bombings in Iran. While this tragic event occurred overseas, the Los Angeles blah 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 blah. The LA Sheriff's Department was upset the president striking Iran nuclear facilities. But Ukraine is okay. I'm not going to get into all that shit. Because this country's been bombing people for far too long. I don't need to keep proving what the fuck we've been doing. I just think we need to stop if we want to evolve. That's it. We want to evolve. We want to get someplace. We want to do the right thing. You know, it's hard to get people to do the right thing these days. It's just fucking so hard. Man, it's like, I mean, I've seen it up close. I'm like, are you doing the right thing? I mean, what we do in our private time, what we have fun with and what we enjoy, whatever, you know, fine. But out there on the surface, when you start hurting people and the people you love and the people that care about you, you're just not going to evolve. You'll do it again. Anyway. But I do believe that people have the ability to right their wrongs. They need to hold themselves accountable if nobody's doing it to them. And they need to make sure that they come to terms with their soul. Is this the soul I want to pass down to my generation? Right? Because it's like the Avatar in the movie, you know, with Yang and all these guys. The Avatar soul gets passed through time. And I think that's the chi that we need to send through to our lineage. Now I'm getting kind of astronomical, whatever. I don't fucking know. But for some reason, it seems like the right thing to say. And I think it is. If we want to be ethereal and become more than what we are now and grow as a species or an entity, we gotta be honest, man. if we keep these dark secrets under these dark, wet, disgusting, shit-filled rocks, it's not gonna be good. It's all gonna be released at some point. That mildew builds up and these things explode. Like poop can be a catalyst for fucking nitrogen, excuse me, and could blow up. At least 11,000. Hello, I am the only one up in the house. I have to. Oh, okay. And we need to be kind to people left in the elevator after you. Yeah, that's the most important thing. Is if you're in a tall building and there's an elevator. If you farted in the elevator, at least tell them before they walk in. Excuse me, I couldn't hold it. I flatulated. So I'm at least telling you, right? Or if you don't want anybody to get in the elevator, every floor you could just go, man, I just let one out pretty bad. You might want to wait for the next, That could also be the case as well. All right, listen, thank you for listening. Thank you for paying attention. Share, like, subscribe. I got to start putting those buttons. I think I can insert those to share, like, and subscribe. But yeah, we need to evolve. I think I'm going to keep saying that. If we don't get to that place and start finding some kind of harmony, right? Some kind of just something. I'm not talking about joy. I'm talking about just honesty. It's important. Thank you. Aloha.